Hey, it's Danny from Conscious Classic. So I was so excited to find out about this news today. One of the most well-known vegan bodybuilders out there, known as Jon Venus, has made a video 20 hours ago, as you can see here, stating that he is no longer vegan. And he shares as to why he's not vegan. So let's watch this video together that he made, and I will respond when I feel it's necessary to do so.
I'm not here to judge you for doing whatever you feel is right for you, your family, and your community. I'm not here to tell you what is objectively right or what is wrong.
I don't understand why he's saying that at all. Doesn't make any sense. It's about you no longer being vegan. So, well, yeah. But anyway.
And I'm not here to listen to your, arguments and to your opinions either.
Yeah, because you're going to get them left, right, and center from vegans. And Vegan Gains already made a response video to him, hating on him, say he doesn't like Jon Venus as it is, and just shared all these pseudo science that Vegan Gains always does, saying that vegan diet is the best diet, even though he has depression and he doesn't feel good on a vegan diet.
I am just here to tell you guys my experiences, my shift in perspective, my new life choice. The best way to start this is talking about when this whole question mark started coming into my life. I think this is a good way to start. So,
well, if you didn't know, Jon Venus made a video about 6 months ago, which you cannot actually find his YouTube channel because he made it unlisted. If you know the link for it, I'll put a link down below for it. He said in this specific video 6 months ago that he tried eggs because he felt a natural desire to try them and he wasn't feeling so good. But he had a really bad experience due to a variety of different reasons, and he'd actually hidden it from people for a year because it actually happened a year before then. So he's not necessarily one of the most trustworthy, transparent vegans out there. And this is what I keep saying to people. You may watch vegans online, but you don't know what they're doing behind closed doors. A lot of them are lying to your face through the social media platforms.
2 years ago, almost 2 years ago, I became a dad, a father. And when I'm not going to speak for every parent out there, but for me especially, when I became a dad, and even before when we were pregnant, a lot of, responsibility came into my life. A lot of, difficult questions that I had to, answer, different kind of philosophical ideas that I had to think through. And I think we can all agree, or people who have looked into the scientific literature, we can agree that nutrition itself is a very confusing and not really understood topic. And it is, understood to a certain degree, but there are very many question marks. So,
well, yeah, there is. And that's why you need to listen to yourself and stop looking at epidemiological studies, which is just pseudoscience. It is very flawed. There is pretty much no clinical, peer-reviewed, controlled studies out there on the vegan diet. So yeah, there's no actual real proof out there that it's a sustainable diet, and this is why inevitably people like Jon Venus don't survive long term on a vegan diet, because it's a malnourishing, unsustainable diet. And it seems he started questioning things probably because he wasn't feeling so good, and he doesn't seem to be being very transparent about that.
You take a study and you use that study to come to a conclusion, but then another person with another opinion will take that same exact study and come to the opposite conclusion.
And that's why you're meant to listen to your body. Don't even listen to your head. Don't listen to people outside yourself. Don't listen to these vegan preachers out there. Listen to your body. It knows best. It's the best teacher. It's your internal navigation system. And this is where so many vegans go wrong, because they get programmed and brainwashed with all this vegan dogma and ideologies and pseudoscience, and then they're wondering why it's not working. Well, it's because you're not meant to be on a diet. There's never been one vegan civilization that ever existed in our human experience, in the human reality.
Someone else. A lot of times when you're vegan, especially for me, you are in this bubble. You are in the mindset of, we are doing something that is ethical. We're doing this because it feels right in every single way. And this is my perspective. And because this is my perspective, we're only going to listen to other people with the same perspective, that have the same mission to eliminate animal suffering, to live a plant-based lifestyle, a vegan diet, and so on.
And that is the vegan trap. You get sucked into that vegan world They push that vegan agenda like crazy. You have those vegan goggles on. You cannot see past your vegan perception. And it's a very dangerous path that you can lead that will inevitably end up making your health deteriorate like it did for him and many other vegans. And then your health goes downhill and you start needing animal foods that give you what you need, which you've been lacking for so long on a vegan diet.
It becomes almost like you have to only look for answers and research that comes from people that you know is going to support your bias. Anything outside of pro-vegan becomes the opposite, right? So there is no neutral point of view that you can get to with this mindset. It's either vegan, pro-vegan, or it's anti-vegan and pro-meat eating and pro-murder and death and these things. And this is the mindset.
Yeah, for sure, without a doubt. And there's also murdering and death that goes on due to monocrops that completely destroy the environment, the soil, kill off animals left, right and centre. Around 2.3 million animals in America are killed under pest control for the agriculture industry. Millions upon millions are spent for pest control to protect the agriculture crops. And no, vegans, most of that soy and corn and grains are not fed to livestock. The actual inedible part of corn, for example, is what is mainly fed to animals, which we cannot eat.
Mindset that is, I was in that mindset myself, so I know that is the dominant mindset for a lot of people.
Yep, the vegan religion.
And I understand it. It's really, really challenging to be objective and try to disprove certain things and challenge your own beliefs constantly. And even if I thought I did that for a long time, I really didn't go as far as I should and as far as I needed to get the full picture. And now, being a father, that is exactly what I feel the duty to do. And unfortunately, as we know, and as I've talked to you guys about in podcasts and different things, I have never claimed that the science, proves that a vegan diet, a 100% vegan diet, is the best for optimal health.
But you've made so many videos over the last 7 years promoting a vegan diet like crazy. You've built a huge online business where you make vegan meal plans. You do one-on-one coaching on a vegan diet. So you've obviously believed that it's a really good thing for yourself and other people, and you've made a lot of money doing so.
Truly believed it for the last 4 years. I think the last year I've been questioning a lot of things, but for the vast majority of the time that I was vegan, I really actually believed that it was optimal for human health, because that is what we're being sold. Big organizations like the American Dietetics Association, all that mixed together makes it extremely easy to just believe 100% that you are doing the right thing. And I'm not saying that it's a wrong thing, but it makes it easy not to question it and look at the opposite or another different point of view.
Yeah, for sure. Until things start to go downhill like they have done for you, you started to question things and open up to the possibility of animal foods being good. So good on you, man. I'm really, really happy for you, because this is really going to make you feel better, make you be a better dad, be a better husband, and just be a better person all round.
Looking into the Dietetics Association, corporate ties, all these, different corruptions that are going on, and looking at the science for, children especially, because this is the reason why I started questioning everything. There is extremely little science, and I am not convinced at all by the science that is used to support those claims. And I strongly believe that we cannot, say for certain that one thing, something like the vegan diet, 100% vegan diet, is going to be optimal for kids. It may.
Wow, that is really amazing to hear that he's come to this conclusion on his own, because this is definitely the truth. You don't get all of the EPA and DHA that you need in abundance, unlike what the vegans would tell you, but the conversion rate of ALA, which is the plant fatty acid, to EPA and DHA is very, very low. Around 5% of ALA converts to EPA and DHA. And then you're not getting cholesterol in abundance, which is key for producing all other hormones and many other different nutrients that are very low or non-existent on a vegan diet. So for a vegan child to be on that whilst they're developing, that is very, very dangerous. So he's doing a good thing and being a very conscious dad and caring about his child.
It may be optimal. I'm not saying that it's not. And we look up to so many vegan parents that are doing an amazing job raising vegan kids, and we respect them so much. We're all trying to come from a place of compassion and love and trying to make the world a better.
But the thing is, so many of these vegan kids have sunken in eyes. They are very underweight. They look very underdeveloped, and they look very unhealthy and malnourished. Yeah, there may be some that look healthy, but a lot of them do not look good in any way, shape, or form.
Place. So I'm not saying, that this is a horrible and that I know that it's a dangerous thing. All I'm saying is that if I'm trying to be as objective as possible, this is not something that I, as a parent, as a father, am comfortable with doing. I'm not comfortable of dismissing, hundreds of thousands of years or even millions of years of a certain, eating pattern, and instead do something that.
Wow, that's really good to hear. So he's obviously talking about how we have ate for a very long time, all of our ancestors, which is actually an omnivore diet. So not a carnivore diet, not a vegan diet, but a mixture of plant foods and animal foods, which is definitely more of one of the most optimal diets for humans' health and for us to be the best versions of ourselves.
Requires supplementation to make possible, like B12, because
yes, that does not need supplements like B12. So, sounds like he's not all pro for supplements on a diet and being on that diet when if you need supplements to make it work, then it's obviously not the optimal diet. So he started to put all of the pieces of the puzzles together and finally wake up, which is amazing to hear.
Because, again, I used to think that you could get B12 from the soil and water and that there is no scientific evidence for that to be true. And it doesn't make sense for me to go with a new method, which I could call an experiment. I have had some question marks because of personal experiences, because of my real life observations and, nutrient deficiencies in people that are very, very close to me. And I don't want to give any personal information, so I'm not going to talk in detail about any of that. And I just don't want to be responsible or even seem like I am saying that this is the better way for kids to grow up. And if
So he's being very conflicted in what he's saying. He doesn't think it's the best thing for children, and then he thinks that it's like you're all over the show. 1 minute you're saying one thing, then you're saying another thing. I don't know what to believe from what you're saying. You're not really making any sense, and you're not being very transparent. You're not actually sharing what's been going on with people that are around you. And there's vegans suffering. Maybe by you actually being transparent and sharing what's going on fully, then maybe some other vegans can wake up to reality. The reason why they're not feeling good on a vegan diet is due to it not actually being a sustainable diet.
I don't feel comfortable with my kid being vegan, I cannot continue that lifestyle myself. Granted, I'll still, do everything in my power to do what I feel is best with my moral compass for the environment, the planet, the animals, and all of that stuff. And I don't care if, someone watching feels extremely offended, because it's not about you, it's not about me.
I don't feel offended at all. All the vegans will, because they hate anyone that's no longer part of their vegan cult. I actually feel a lot of empathy for you, because you've built a big business around this and you have your whole social media platform around it, and it's very hard to come out about this, especially when you're a social media influencer. I had to do it, and the amount of hate you get directed you is like so much, because those vegans are actually quite violent people and not as empathic and compassionate as they like you to believe.
Is just, the reality of the situation regarding, real life as, a parent, and the responsibilities that come along with being a human being who is caring for, children, and who is really wanting to do what's best by their side. I was always, 100% certain that this was the healthiest diet for human beings, because I was coaching a lot of people, and I still will be coaching vegans and helping vegans to thrive. But I'm always coaching people and helping them transform their health and lives and getting better from chronic disease.
And I've noticed this happen. Rawvana did this. She's another huge social media influencer that's no longer vegan. Even though they're no longer vegan, just like Jon Venus is saying, she's still pumping out vegan recipe videos like crazy and promoting that diet. And he said he's going to still do it, even though he doesn't believe that it's necessarily the most optimal diet. But then also he's saying he thinks that it has been actually one of the most optimal diets as well. And it's like, well, yeah, if he stops offering those vegan services, he stands to lose a lot of money. But he's still going to be promoting a diet that affected his health in a negative way and doesn't feel that it's the best for him and his children. Like, that's very conflicting. It doesn't really make any sense at all. It could be actually very dangerous to get people to still go on the vegan diet.
And all kinds of issues. And that just fed and confirmed my belief that the vegan diet is the optimal, the healthiest diet ever, right? But of course, this is not a long-term study. This is a intervention, a short-term intervention by coaching and by switching up their nutrition and fitness routines, lifestyle factors that play a role as well. So, I cannot be certain of the long-term implications of the diets. Just because it works extremely well and helps reverse disease in the short term, it doesn't really translate into what happens and what the limitations are long term. People have, like friends have kind of.
And the limitations long term is that people become extremely deficient, deteriorate like rapidly, and end up getting into a really bad state where they end up with so many health issues mentally and physically, holistically, which ends up destroying their life and the way they can function and feel, messes them up emotionally. Like as you'd see with many of the ex-vegan interview videos that I've done recently with people that even found that, yeah, they managed to last 18, 19, 20 years, but it really, really sent their health downhill like crazy, and they didn't regain it until they started incorporating high quality animal foods back into their diet.
Divorce themselves from me and like not wanting to have anything to do with me anymore. And this is like people who I thought were really good friends, and other friends, really very close friends, who said, that I that they respect my choice and everything like that, but they can't be seen with me publicly because that is bad for their image.
And yeah, that's the thing. You've been kicked out of the vegan cult, like I said. You know, people like Brian Turner, Simnit Nutrition, Nimai Delgado, and many other high profile vegan bodybuilders and influencers out there. And yeah, now you're out of the gang. And it goes to really make you aware of who your real friends are. They were never your real friends, man. Real friends stick around you no matter what you do, as long as you're not harming them directly or their loved ones. Yeah, it's just like, it's good that this happened, because then it makes you realize who your real friends are and the ones that you can actually rely on.
Because the vegan movement is so toxic and so judgmental. So, this is not an easy issue. And it's so sad that the vegan movement has so many people that are so judgmental and have such superiority complex. I'm not scared of getting flack for any of this. I've done this, several times in the past.
Nice. Good on you, man. Good for actually speaking out and standing up. It's just like really, really good. More people need to be doing this. And yeah, they are so toxic, those vegans, man. Like, Jesus, have some empathy.
And I just don't care. I'm just here sharing my opinions. And, if people want to take my clips out of context and try to make me look like a fool, that's fine. It's been done so many times before, 100 times before, and that's okay. People can do whatever they want to support their own biases and to feel superior to me or to any other people who choose differently than them. That is up to everyone to do, but it's just not right. It's not a compassionate way of doing things, and it's not a way that reflects the core principles of veganism that got me attracted to the whole thing in the first place of
Yes, of compassion. They're meant to be practicing a compassionate lifestyle, but actually they're more pro-animal and anti-human. And if you are not pushing their vegan agenda, you're so gonna know it.
passion and love and all these things. I'm still living the same, life in terms of core principles, still the same mission, trying to spread positivity, compassion, love, and health to everyone who watches and follows along this channel. And I hope that you guys can stick around, because there's so many more things, and the journey has just begun. I mean, there's a lot more to come. And again, I'm not here to bash on the vegan diet, to say that it's unhealthy. I know so many people who are doing well, and I'm super proud for being able to step outside of the bubble and really dig deep and try to be as unbiased as possible, going into my experiment without any hopes or changes in mind, and hoping for something magical to happen and have placebo results happening, even though it is impossible to be 100% neutral to certain things and have no bias at all. I tried my best, and I'm so proud for doing that and for taking responsibility for my family. I have
And nice, yeah, it sounds like you've really liberated yourself. This is a really good thing. And yeah, it's quite funny that this has gone on, because vegans will say, well, if you've got issues going on, go to a vegan doctor. Well, guess what? His brother, Leo Venus, is a doctor. And he was always listening to him and doing videos with him, yet it still didn't work for him. And he listened to all of the science and followed all of the nutritional information from doctors and other people that are some of the best teachers on a vegan diet, and it still didn't work, because it's not meant to work long term, because it's not a diet you're meant to be on, because it doesn't meet your nutritional needs.
have no apologies to give to anyone. I think that this is a very, very good thing. And I think that you guys, are in for a very interesting journey ahead if you want to follow along. Because again, everything stays the same. We're still going to try to become the best versions of ourselves together. And for you guys who don't want to follow along anymore just because I'm not vegan anymore, that's okay.
If you like this response video, leave your comments, questions down below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and enjoy the rest of your amazing day. Peace.